All right, so it seems Trevor Bauer has been pretty much cleared of all accusations. This comes after 2 years ago, where the MLB suspended him. They suspended him for 2 years, obviously for sexual misconduct, and this happened way back in May 2021 when the supposed incident happened. Now I felt like we should cover this mainly because we PWTB did a video that we're not taking down. It was a good video, and we didn't say anything wrong in the video. But we did a video way back in January talking about Trevor Bauer coming back. We're saying I think the title was Trevor Bauer is going to be a very rich man, which is true. Like, yada yada, which actually hasn't come true at all. He's been blocked out of the MLB. They haven't let him back in. He went to go play overseas. So we were wrong on that. But I felt like we should address it just because we were kind of joking around. Maybe you might have implied, again, we didn't say anything, but you might have implied that we thought he was guilty. He's not guilty. He posted just a quick summary, then we'll get a little bit of a discussion. He he posted the facts. He posted a 4-minute Twitter video outlining exactly what happened. It's pretty damning, to say the least, about what this girl's intentions were. There were multiple texts saying she was trying to secure the bag with Trevor Bauer, and that was her goal. If you want to, we're gonna link the Twitter video if you want to watch the whole thing. But that's essentially what happened, and he was able to finally clear the air. There's a lot of legal processes you can do. You can't just say, I'm innocent and everyone believes you, because he did say that. Nobody believed him. Everyone's like, you disgusting person, yada, yada. So he waited with his lawyers. He gathered the evidence, and then you present that you're innocent. That's how it should go for everything. So he did that. He deserves credit for that. That's why we always have to remember innocent until guilty. I know it's very hard sometimes, but you have to. You have to. Once they're guilty, then you can say whatever they want about them. But we have to remember that. But anyways, that's a little bit about what happened. Let's talk about it from a baseball perspective. What should the MLB have done? I know Jake is fired up about this one, so I'm going to turn it over to him first, and then I'll answer. But because obviously the MLB suspended him right away, and they've still kind of blocked him out. So what else should they have done?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say from a personal standpoint, I am absolutely disgusted by this. I think, I also want to say I've always loved Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer's been one of my favorite pitchers. I feel like what the MLB did in that moment, it was right to suspend him for 2 years. I think it was right. But, as Evan said, you gotta remember, innocent to proven guilty. The NFL, just to compare this, I guess, Deshaun Watson was found guilty though. But I guess just to compare this to Deshaun Watson still played in the NFL until he was found guilty. Then he was finally suspended. Not even for a full season, not even for 2 years. He didn't get the same kind of treatment that Trevor Bauer did. And I feel like since everything has come out now, you know, Trevor Bauer should go after the MLB. He should go after that woman that accused him. I always thought that Trevor Bauer was innocent. You know, he did the right thing. He weighed with his lawyers. He collected the evidence. He finally proved himself innocent. So feel like, Trevor Bauer's next steps is to go after the MLB and to go after the woman that accused him. Evan?
Okay, so we'll get to the woman in a little bit because I think there's two different answers. So I think it's important to distinguish. We'll talk about baseball. I fully agree with Jake when it comes to the MLB. I think what you have to do is you have to look at exactly what happened. He hasn't been able to play since 2021. That's 2 going on 3 years now. So that's, Trevor Bauer's not a young guy anymore. That's a lot of years in his prime that he could have been playing, that he's not. He was a fantastic pitcher. We don't know if he did come back, if he would be. So it's done. What's done is done. He's not going to get those years back. He'll get to play it, but it's like you never know. So you got to handle this. You got to handle this better. I know they cracked down in MLB. It's a little mixed because you want to take these allegations seriously. You don't want to be the NFL, like something is serious against Watson and you just let whatever happen. So I respect the MLB for trying to do something. I'm not painting the MLB as the villain at this as all. This is more of constructive criticism. Is that sometimes with some of these allegations, you have to just kick back a little bit. You just have to let it play out, and they didn't. the incident happened in May 2021. I don't know this date for sure, but I believe he was suspended by August of 2021. So that's like not even a summer. And they already decided. So I think in this case in particular, I don't know if you can set a league-wide standard. I think in this case in particular, you would have let him finish 2021, and then you would have taken in the offseason and really got this moving, but they didn't. So we have to take that into consideration. So last thing, I don't want to touch on this too much, but I think it is important. We can't ignore this. With the woman, I'll address this, but Jake first, he mentioned that he should go after her. What do you mean by that?
He should go after her legal rights. I mean, to sue her. Basically, he and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I believe we had a video up about the Bills punter, Matt Elijah, who was accused of rape, and it came out that he did not rape the woman. He wasn't even there. Feel like, these kinds of women, I feel like you gotta go after because they try to ruin a guy's career over sexual assault or rape. And you can't, I mean, if you're found innocent, you gotta, go after who tried to ruin your career. And I think Trevor Bauer could get a lot of money from this. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Jake makes the right point. It's the same thing with the police. You don't go after all the police. You go after the one bad officer who made the thing. It's the same thing. You
Hmm.
don't go after all of women just because they did this. You go after the one woman. But I do want to say something, and this is going to sound like an attack. If you're watching, if you're a PWTB viewer, you watch this video all the way through, you're the only one who's going to see this. I'm not going to put this on our Instagram. I'm not going to put this on anything. This is my take on this. When people say women have more rights than men today, there's some people who believe that. I think there's some justification to that. Now, don't click away right away. Just hear me out. If you think I'm wrong, just take it. But I'm not saying that they should have less rights. I think women are very smart. I think they should have the exact same rights. They're for sure. A lot of them are way smarter than I'll ever be. And they're strong and they should have equal rights. That's the whole premise of everything we do, right? But here's the thing with a situation like this is the courts, maybe not just the woman, but the courts give the woman so much power in divorce hearings and allegations like this. Where you have a woman, again, maybe it wasn't like this in the past, but you have a woman, if you watch the Twitter video, essentially saying, I'm going to go get the bag and ruin this guy's career, ruin his reputation. Like, that's one of the lowest things you could be, is of course sexually assaulting a woman. So that was the goal. So okay, maybe at one point it was the men who were aggressors, and of course there's still a lot of bad men out there that we got to handle individually. But at the same point, this is not okay. This is not okay at all, and it has not been addressed yet. So that's a little bit where some people might think women have more rights. It doesn't mean they have more rights for everything. Like, hiring practices are pretty equal all around. Plenty of qualified women are getting great jobs, but that's what people mean when they say that. Again, there might be some people with bad intent saying that, but that's what the reasonable people mean when they say that, is they see these proceedings and then they see nothing changing. And that's too bad.